pleasure that I introduce to you the 2014 valedictorian, Alex Fernandez Morrell.
I think a lot of us have a lot in common. For instance, most of us are sitting here thinking, oh my God, is this kid that looks like Harry Potter really going to sit up here for 10 minutes and talk before we can get a bonus? Is he really going to do that? And also, most of us are spending today as we spent the better half of our senior year, not at school. Yet, it is quite appropriate that today be marked with some level of pomp and ceremony. Today marks the beginning, although, less importantly, it also signifies an end, a leaving behind. In significant ways, the threshold we cross today means that nothing will ever quite be the same. While we are the same today as we were the day before, and even the day before that day, the pace at which we sail will soon hasten. Our individual directions will vary greatly. Some of us will be going to college, some are going to serve our country, and some want to sail freely. Let the current do the steering. Our reality is that no matter the direction we sail, we soon will sail seas filled by waves of challenge and opportunity. Such prospect may produce rip currents of conflicting emotions, fear and happiness, certainty, and even confusion. Yet these emotions are bound together by a dominating desire for self-realization and adventure that we all share. In the 9th century AD, a man called Yokabi wrote that, "Whoever wants to go to China must sail across 7 seas, each one with its own color and wind and fish and breeze. Completely unlike the sea that flies beside it. We as a class host the capacity to not just sail 1 sea, but Yokabi's 7 seas." Throughout our years at Wilson, our collective experiences have morphed a sailor's code, which has guided us on our voyages up until now, and hopefully, one which will continue to do so as we set sail for the 7 seas. Since this is our last time together as a class, I'm going to go over our sailor's code one last time. The first sailor's code is perhaps the simplest of all our codes, yet one we always fail at. Sailor code number 1, don't sail like an idiot. Sophomore year, I was meddling around Mr. Steele's chemistry closet, and I found this jar of what looked like eyeballs floating around in white pus, alongside all. Being the idiot I am, I showed the jar labeled, "Mayonnaise, please consume by November 6, 1994, to everyone in my class," and then shook it up, curious as to whether the components would once again become homogeneous. Mr. Steele saw what I did, looked down at the floor for about 10 seconds in blatant dismay, and then looked up and said, "Alex, you just ruined a 20-year experiment on separation." Mr. Steele taught us all a great lesson that day. Never mess with anything that's been separated for 20 years. The second sailor code ensures that we stay sane in times of trouble. Sailor code number 2. If a storm comes, we must push forward with all our might and let it make us sail faster and harder. In middle school, I made D's and F's. As I looked toward high school, college was the least of my worries, and I specifically recall finding more interest in the surf report than my summer reading. I flowed through a carefree existence. Then, a great storm came, and I found myself washed up on an island many of us know, an island of despair. I went from a privileged, upper-class kid to a deprived castaway. This island was a world away from high school graduation, a world away from scholarships, a world away from college acceptances. Yet here I stand. Here we stand. Each one of us has weathered a storm at some point in time and used it as motivation. And look at us. We are here, with life ahead of us. The storms will keep coming. They will come faster and stronger, darker and nastier. and even more serious than Mr. Beach. Yet I encourage you, as fellow crewmates, to sail through them, just as we overcame past storms to get where we are today. The third sailor code ensures that we sail humbly, yet passionately, and with those crewmates named pride and dignity, and honor and confidence. Sailor code number 3. Don't sail with pirates. The direction of their drift is worrisome and conducive to a shipwreck. Sail with those who want to conquer the 7 seas, and with those who consider the idea of merely sailing a single sea a grave below of our sailing capacities. As the years have passed, we encountered those who wish to help us on our course, and those who wish to divert us from it. Only keep those in your life who support the direction of your voyages. It is inevitable that our ships will come under attack. But even if those pirates take everything which was guiding us, we know that those who steered us in the right direction also gave us the knowledge to become the captains of our own ships. The 4th sailor code helps us prevent seasickness. Sailor code number 4. While at sea, don't forget those whom you left on shore. Mom, sometimes you drive me crazy, but correction. Mom, an overwhelming majority of the time you drive me crazy. But at the end of the day, I know that you care more than anyone that my ship sails in the right direction, and I love you for that. Without the support and struggle of our families, including those who can only be here today in spirit, we would have never become the sailors we are today. And lastly, the 5th sailor code ensures that we always keep our swag in check. Sailor code number 5. While at sea, always keep your boots polished. I bust tables at the Jackson Chart House. One time I came in with a really dirty luggage jacket. The chef there is quite a character, and I still haven't figured out whether or not he likes me. When he saw how dirty my jacket was, he took me in the back, grabbed a new one from the closet, ironed it for me, and said, "Yo, Alex, if you're worth $10, make it look like you're worth 20. And so, class of 2014, my friends, my brothers, my sisters, my fellow sailors, as we embark on this last voyage, may the wind always be on your back, and the sun upon your face, and may the winds of destiny carry us aloft to dance with the stars."